Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise here on MLB The Show 21 and the MSM Sports Network. Today we begin with Game 4 of the season and a debut for our brand new pitcher in Tyler Beede. The Rangers went in search of a new offseason arm to add to their rotation, and Texas found what they were looking for in a guy who's been passed over by several MLB teams in his career. A guy who's not pitched in the last 4 seasons at the big league level and was fully set to go play in the Korean Baseball League until the Rangers offered him a 1-year deal to prove that he still belongs stateside. The 6'2" right-hander has 1.5 million reasons to try and prove himself to this ball club and give himself a second chance at the big leagues. The Rangers are 3-0 and of course looking for the 4-game sweep today against the Royals. I played these last 2 games just to continue to get a feel for the hitting. It had been a little bit since I'd played, and these games were something else. Game 2 of the series, the Rangers take this one 6-4. Craig Kimbrell gets his first win as a Ranger, and this one came down to the wire. At one point, the Rangers were leading. The Royals came back. It felt like they had a stranglehold on the game, even though it was only 3-2. We tie it up in the bottom of the 6th, thanks to an RBI from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. The Royals once again take the lead, but in the bottom of the 7th, a 3-run inning from Texas, headlined by Trevor Story's 2 RBI single back up the middle with the infield drawn in, and the Rangers would secure Game 2. Game 3 of the series was equally as crazy. Look at the box score. The Rangers scored 4 runs on 2 hits. You're not seeing that wrong. Kansas City dominated all day long. They took an early lead in this ball game. It felt like they were going to win this game outright, maybe even a shutout. It was a no-hitter that was being thrown early by Daniel Lynch, their starting pitcher, who just went 6 complete. He took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, but it was a 3-run home run off the bat of Willie Calhoun that gave the Rangers the upper hand that would ultimately tie them with the Royals. And then in the 11th, a walk-off sacrifice fly from David Dahl would give the Rangers the lead. Texas got their first hit in the 6th inning from Trevor Story after a leadoff walk from David Dahl, and then of course 2 batters later, Willie Calhoun gave the Rangers their second and final hit to win the ballgame. Maybe one of the craziest box scores that I've ever seen, but the Rangers now are going for the sweep and looking for a 4-0 start to the regular season. Let's get into it. Tyler Beede last pitched in the major leagues in 2019 as a part of the San Francisco Giants organization. He went 5-10 that year and had an ERA over 5, but today is a new day, and Beede, to work against Mondesi, who gave him a little bit of a scare, looked like he was going to hit that ball a long way, but it ended up being a foul ball. A couple pitches later, he grounds out to third for the first out of the inning. Nicky Lopez is second batter. Another weak contact, this one down to first, and Beede's got the first 2 outs of his Rangers career. Starlin Castro to the plate now. Castro, one of their biggest power hitters, and that's why he's batting third in the lineup. Spoils a fastball right down the middle, and you see Beede hitting about 95, 96. That's where he's going to top out at on most fastballs. Beede then later in the count, that's not where he was trying to put the slider, but he gets the strikeout anyway. On to the 2nd now, facing Jorge Soler, their biggest power threat, and Soler wins this battle. He goes into center field for a base hit. Soler is going to be the engine that drives this Royals offense this season, with no Whit Merrifield in the fold anymore. Unfortunately, though, for the Rangers, the very next batter's Ryan McBroom, and on the first pitch he sees a little 4-6-3 double play. That ball just fouled down the line as Hunter Dozier was looking for extra bases, but Beede recovers, and on an 0-2 pitch, he gets Dozier to fly one out to deep left field. Easy catch there for Yanni Hernandez, who's playing a little bit in the outfield for us. And we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Runner on first, Josh Young, his first at-bat of the 2023 campaign, and he comes through, sending a single into left field. The Rangers now runners on first and 2nd. They're looking to score, and it was up to J.P. Martinez, also getting his first start of the campaign, on a 1-2 pitch. Fastball down the left field line. That's fair and past Yairo Munoz, who can't get it as he goes into a somersault 2 runs will score, and Martinez into third base with his first triple of the season. Texas up 2-0 off an opposite field extra base hit, and it would send us to the 3rd inning. Beede has a lead, and he's going to work with it as this one flayed down the left field line, but a nice catch there made by Hernandez, who shows his speed and robs Kyle Isbell of potential extra bases. Salvador Perez hitting .417 through the first 3 games, tries to go down the left field line, but there's the Gold Glove defense from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, showing why we gave him the starting position once again. Bottom of the 3rd, it's Randy Florentino to the plate, and Florentino puts a charge into this one. High and deep out to right field, it's over the head of the defender and off the wall. Florentino hits the bag at second, on his way to 3rd, the relay throws not in time, and Florentino records his first career triple at the big leagues. Not the fleetest of foot, but he does manage to give the Ranger fans something to cheer about. We don't score, and we go to the top of the 4th, and Beatty feeling confident after his first 3 shutout innings, barking at the home plate umpire off a missed call. Adalberto Mondesi, though, the next pitch, deep out to right field. This one's gonna die on the warning track, and Katel Marte makes the catch. Loud out for number 1. Nicky Lopez on in the second batter of the inning, and this one dunked into center field, a base hit. Second hit that Beede has allowed, but most of the contact has been weak, and so Beede still firmly in control. He's got a 3-0 lead, and now with 2 outs facing Jorge Soler, he goes top shelf, and Soler can't come up the ladder with him. Beede 4 scoreless innings in his Rangers debut, and now we skip ahead to the 6th inning, and you look at the pitch count. That was Beaty's 37th pitch of the ballgame. Just a couple of pitches later, Kyle Isbell grounds out to short, and so Beede has gone 5 1/3 innings on just 41 pitches. Next batter, deep out to right field again from Salvador Perez, but a nice catch made out there by Marte, and Beede is just churning through these Royals hitters. Mondesi now, the last chance in the 6th, a weak fly ball out to 6, and it's not only a quality start, but a chance maybe at a complete game for Beede. To the top of the 7th, through 1 out, the 48th pitch is going to net him his 2nd punch out of the inning, and he's already through 6 2/3. 2 pitches later, Jorge Soler swinging a miss at a great curveball from Beede. He's looking for another strikeout. He got him last time up. Can he get him with the high fastball again? Yes, he can. Beede threw 7 scoreless in his Rangers debut. He is absolutely showing why he belongs in this rotation. Bottom of the 7th now, Trevor Story rings one into left field. 1 run will score. Hernandez makes it into 3rd. An RBI single for Trevor Story, who's also starting to get the bat to heat up. Next batter, Willie Calhoun looking for the gap. Deep over the center fielder's head. Isbell can't make the catch. Hernandez will score. Story up to 3rd. He had to hesitate to make sure that ball fell. It's 5-0 Texas, but the Rangers aren't done. Katel Marte into left center field. This will be caught by Munoz, but Story on his horse, heading to the plate, and the relay throw cut off. Texas leads 6-0. We go to the top of the 8th now, and this was one of the few blemishes that I've seen from Florentino so far. Just a careless pass ball that allows the man to get up to second base. The first runner in scoring position all day long for the Royals, but Beede goes back to work. 1-2 pitch here to Yairo Munoz, who's 0 for 2. He'll spoil another good curveball foul down the left field line. Next pitch, though, flayed out to shallow right field. Katel Marte has a great arm, and they won't test it. 2 outs in the inning, and 4 outs away from a complete game shutout. Kyle Isbell, the final test here in the 8th inning. A 1-2 pitch, and he can't come get the fastball. 8 scoreless for Beede, and we go to the 9th, needing just 3 outs for his Rangers debut to be a magical one. The first pitch, Salvador Perez grounds harmlessly down to 3rd. 1 away. Next pitch, Mondesi to the plate. He grounds harmlessly to short as Trevor Story charges, fires in time. 1 out away, and we go to the 71st pitch of the ballgame. 0-2 count on Nicky Lopez, and it's a weak pop fly into center field. Martinez comes in, he makes the catch. It's a 71 pitch complete game shutout in his Rangers debut. Tyler Beede has not pitched in over 2 years at the big league level, and he has shut out the Kansas City Royals, earning the Texas Rangers a 4-game sweep. An incredible performance from number 38 today. He struck out 5, he only allowed 3 hits, and did not walk a batter. It was an inspirational afternoon for the right-hander. Well, we simulated forward through the rest of the homestand. A brief 2-game slate with the Seattle Mariners was on tap, and the Rangers almost went 6-0. In Game 5 of the series, Wes Benjamin towed the rubber, and it's not the final box score that's intriguing. It's the fact that Wes Benjamin took a no-hitter through 7 innings. Now, he walked 6, but still not allowing a hit through your first 7 innings of action this season. Quite impressive. I had to pull him, though, because his pitch count was skyrocketing, and obviously he didn't have the command that was going to be necessary in order to finish that game out. I just didn't want him to get hurt by pushing him too far, especially in his first start of the season. So we did shoot Taylor Hearn into the ballgame, and he promptly broke up the no-hitter himself, basically. Gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. He did strike out 2. But the Rangers won 6-3. They homered 3 times in this one. Dahl, Naquin, and Florentino all went deep. Randy Florentino's home run was of the 2-run variety. Now, in the finale of the series, Tyler Glasnow had another dud of a start, and the Rangers lost their first game of the season 7-4. Glasnow only went 4 innings plus. Again, it's that 5th inning where the first 2 times out, he's run into a lot of trouble. And you see in the 5th inning, he gave up 2 runs. Ultimately gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. He walked 3 and only struck out 1. I don't know why that is, why his strikeout totals are so bad. He's got good strikeout ratings, but for whatever reason, the numbers just haven't been there. Trevor Story did go deep for us in the bottom of the first, but obviously that lead did not hold, and the Mariners did split the series with us, winning the second game 7-4. Here's just a quick idea of what our offensive numbers looked like through those first 6 games, and the top 5 in our order were on fire. But once you get to Solak, Marte, and Lowe, there's a little bit of a struggle occurring there in the latter part of the lineup. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, though, hitting .278, that is really, really good for him, including a 2-run home run that he hit during the Kansas City series there in the finale. Here's a look at our bench. JP Martinez has really capitalized on his 8 at-bats, and so I think we're going to be shuffling a couple more pieces in and out of the lineup and around as well. For example, I don't know if Story's going to hit 3rd or if he's going to hit 2nd, and vice versa with Tyler Naquin. A lot of guys to play with. I'm very happy with what Florentino is giving us right now. I think he's certainly taking the lead when it comes to the starting catcher duty. I'd like to see what he can do against left-handed pitchers as well, but so far he has absolutely mashed right-handed pitching through 6 games. So we went to the New York Yankees series, and it's our first trip on the road. You see, doing a little bit of defensive adjustments, allowing Willie Calhoun to play in the field for the first time this year. And it was Carlos Martinez against Luis Severino in a rematch of the ALCS from 2 years ago. As you see, the Rangers take an early 2-0 lead. Nate Lowe with a 2 RBI double. And then Katel Marte goes deep. The Rangers are up 4-0 against the Pinstripes. This was a big series because I wanted to see if our hot start was just truly that, a hot start, or if I believed that we had some staying power here. And so far, as you see, the Rangers doing everything that they need to prove they're here to stay. Nate Lowe knocks in 2 with another deep ball, and the Rangers would take a 6-1 lead to the 9th inning when Randy Florentino hit a grand slam. The Rangers would close this one out. It was initially going to be an easy 10-1 win, but you see, Taylor Hearn actually gets hurt, and Archie Bradley has to come into an awkward situation. He gives up a couple runs, and the Rangers do win 10-5, but we're going to send Taylor Hearn to the IL with a bruised hand. The Rangers win Game 1 10-5, although it was not nearly as close as the final score might indicate. 4-run 9th inning from the Yankees, certainly helping their bottom line. As you get a look at our total offense, Nate Lowe is on fire right now. Carlos Martinez had a whale of a ball game, going 7 complete. And in response to Taylor Hearn going on the IL, we're going to call up Colby Allard. As you see, we sim past the second game as well, and the Rangers take Game 2. A 5-2 win as Calhoun and Naquin both go deep. Marte also had an RBI in there. The pitching looked like this as Mackenzie Gore gets his first win of the season. He struck out 7 over 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs. But we sim forward past the next day, and the Yankees defeat the Rangers. It was a 2-run 10th inning that allowed the Yankees to take the win. Jonathan Hernandez blows his first save of the year, wasting what was a short start by Tyler Beede, but overall a good pitching effort. And so we go to the series finale. Deivi Garcia on the mound against Wes Benjamin, and neither pitcher had allowed a run through 6 complete. So in the top of the 7th, the Rangers trying to get on the board against the hard-throwing right-hander. Naquin a weak ground ball out to second base. It was a nice play made by LeMahieu, and another nice play here to rob Trevor Story of a hit. So nobody able to get on base for the Rangers in the top half. We go to the bottom part of the inning, and Wes Benjamin still on the mound, nearing 80 pitches as he takes on Giancarlo Stanton. It was a good battle that Stanton put up to make it a 2-2 count, but he was ultimately unable to pull the trigger and goes down on a fastball right in the sweet part of the hitting zone. Clint Frazier, the last chance for the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th, and a weak ground ball out to third base will close the book on that inning. To the 8th we go. 1 out here. Katel Marte looking to get on base, and he scalds this one deep towards right center field, but it's caught before it can get to the wall. That short porch allowing for defenders to have an easier time out there. Rangers did put a runner on first, but Nate Lowe grounded out on a 2-0 pitch, and Deivi Garcia throws 8 scoreless innings. What a performance from the right-hander. He only allowed 1 hit in his outing. Wes Benjamin back to the hill, trying to equal his counterpart. He strikes out Aaron Hicks for the first out of the inning and follows it up with Martin Maldonado going down via the curveball. Last chance, Victor Robles off the end of the bat right in front of the plate. Florentino makes easy work of that, and we go to the top of the 9th. It's Domingo Hermann coming on for his 4th appearance already of the early season, and he'll face David Dahl here in the top of the 9th. Remember, Texas only has 1 hit and 3 base runners throughout the game, but David Dahl solves all of that. A deep shot to right field. Dahl goes into the second deck for his 2nd home run of the series, and Texas takes a 1-0 lead in the 9th inning here from the Bronx. Dahl fired up as Hermann. It took just 6 pitches for him to lose the advantage, and the Rangers will take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning. As you see Dahl's slow motion, and he knew it off the bat. Dahl has been so good at ambushing first pitch fastballs in this series, and it's a big reason why I have kept him around despite his lack of true defensive skill. Well, with Hernandez struggling, we went to Craig Kimbrell for the save. Kimbrell, who was just dealt to the Chicago White Sox in the crazy real-life trade deadline, is on track for a Hall of Fame career, and he may be finishing it up here in Texas. Still looking like his vintage self, though, as he gets the first out. Does allow a single to DJ LeMahieu, though, and that would put the tying run on base for the Pinstripes. With 1 out in the inning, it was up to Luke Voit, and Voit would battle hard here with Kimbrell. Kimbrell gave him his best stuff over a 10-pitch at-bat, but as you see, Voit just continues to spoil it. And it didn't matter if it was fastballs, curveballs, whatever. Voit was on top of it and giving Kimbrell his biggest battle so far of the season. Finally, though, the 16th pitch of the inning, and Voit just swings right over the top of a fastball. Kimbrell finally wins the battle to get the strikeout, and the Rangers are 1 out away from taking 3 of 4 from the Pinstripes. Giancarlo Stanton just misses a mistake fastball right down the middle. He pops it up down the left field line, and the very next pitch, 1-1, flied into shallow center field. Katel Marte comes in, and the Texas Rangers take 3 of 4 at home from the New York Yankees. What a performance from Wes Benjamin on the mound, as he has still yet to allow a run in his 2023 season. He struck out 7 and walked 2 over 8 complete innings, giving up just 3 hits, and the Rangers were 8-2 heading into a series against Cleveland. Now, they would drop Game 1 to the Indians, but first, an interesting offer comes through from the Braves. Now, I had mentioned that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa might not be long for this ball club anymore. He is 30 years old, and he's only an 80 overall, and his offense has certainly suffered over the last couple of years. Kiner Falefa is in the final year of his deal, and the Braves were offering Austin Meadows for him, but the more I looked into it, it just didn't quite make sense. They have really good third basemen in their organization, and Meadows has a potential. It just wasn't a fit for the realism of the series. You see the Rangers do drop a game to Cleveland, and it's Jonathan Hernandez that again blows the save. It was at this point that I officially took Hernandez out of the closing role and elevated Kimbrell to that. But we go to game 2, and the Rangers are already in the lead here 2-0 in the top of the 7th, but it's a bases-loaded chance for Trevor Story. First pitch that Story gets, and just like that, Trevor Story has left the yard. His 200th career home run is a grand slam, the biggest of them all, and the Rangers blow it open here in the second game, 6-0 here in the 7th inning. I just felt like this was a great opportunity to jump into this game and see what we could do, but I was not expecting a first pitch grand slam from our shortstop. So happy that I got to enjoy that moment, though, as that was an absolute nuke into the seats. But the Rangers, of course, are not done. Katel Marte goes into left field. That one will fall for a base hit. Florentino coming to the plate, and the throw just too late to get the Ranger catcher. 8-0 Texas, and they would go on to win by the final score of 10-1 as Carlos Martinez gets the win. Trevor Story, obviously a big part of that, and the Rangers added one more for good measure in the 9th inning. 16 hits in this game, and we would simulate the final game of the series as Mackenzie Gore has a brutal outing and sustains an injury that'll cost him 1 to 2 weeks. Yuri Rodriguez, though, gets the win. The Rangers were down 4-0, but scored 9 runs over the next 3 innings to ultimately take the lead. Rodriguez goes 5 innings off the bench in cold relief, and with the injury, will now elevate him to the starting rotation. Rodriguez will slot in that 3rd spot. Colby Allard will be our long relief man, and we recall Sam Gaviglio from AAA to fill the injury spot. Well, what an incredible episode that it's been for Texas. As you get a look at some of the offensive numbers, we've done a incredible job starting hot this season and are 10-3 heading back into a short 6-game homestand against the Tigers and the A's. Quick update on how the Round Rock Express have started, and it's less than ideal. They're off to a 2-4 start, but I will let you know I did play that first game against the Sugarland Skeeters, and I think we won 13-0. Absolutely blew out the Skeeters. We might look into that start that Hank Lyons will make on that Saturday afternoon. The next episode, though, for sure will get us through the Detroit series, and I haven't made up my mind if we're going through the Oakland A's series or not, but a lot more to come as the end of April approaches. The Rangers are on top of the division and looking strong as we look to build a championship contender here in the 3rd year of the franchise. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate all the support. The subscribers are blowing up right now as we're up to 76 subscribers at recording of this video. I'd love to hit 100 by the middle of the month of August if we could. I know that's ambitious, but I'd love to set that goal and hopefully make it there as well. Leave a like and a comment if you did enjoy, and head over to my Twitter, which is linked in the description, to interact with me more on a daily basis. Until next time, so long, everybody.